Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh, coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Ministers of India and Mauritius jointly inaugurate 6 development projects at Agalega Island to strengthen maritime security and connectivity. In a giant leap for semiconductor mission, India to set up 3 mega semiconductor fabrication plants in collaboration with Japan, Taiwan and Thailand. Russian President Vladimir Putin says Moscow ready for dialogue with United States on strategic stability, hails Russia's military advantage against Ukraine. Establishing decades-old development partnership between India and Mauritius, Prime Ministers from both the nations jointly inaugurated the new airstrip and St. James jetty at the Agalega Island in Mauritius via video conferencing today. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Mauritian counterpart Pravind Jagannath also inaugurated 6 community development projects. These projects will fulfill the demand for better connectivity between mainland Mauritius and Agalega Island and will strengthen maritime security and foster socio-economic development in the region. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said India has always been a first responder for Mauritius.
डेवलपमेंट पार्टनरशिप हमारे राजनीतिक संबंधों का अहम स्तंभ रहा है। हमारी विकास भागीदारी मॉरिशस की प्राथमिकताओं पर आधारित है। भारत ने हमेशा मॉरिशस की जरूरतों का सम्मान किया है। संकट कोविड महामारी का हो या तेल रिसाव का, भारत हमेशा अपने मित्र मॉरिशस के लिए फर्स्ट रिस्पॉन्डर रहा है।
And praising India as global powerhouse, Mauritius Prime Minister Pravind Jagannath said India's aspiring leadership radiates across the world.
As your inspiring leadership and statesmanship radiates across the world, the people of India and the Indian diaspora have strongly established themselves as a global powerhouse of values, knowledge, and success. Today, the people of Agalega are very proud of the developments that are taking place on the island. India's support to our republic is indeed far-reaching, and not later than yesterday, again.
And we now take you live to the MEA press conference.
The third core level meeting between India and Maldives.
So this is Ayushi Agarwal from ANI. My question is related to the Russia-Ukraine war. The conflict has entered its 3rd year. How does India sees the overall situation? Also, there were some reports that there are negotiations going on in Berlin regarding supply of weapons to Ukraine from India. If you can confirm or deny those reports.
Siddhant.
Hi, Sam. Siddhant from Beyond. So what's your official position on the Natasha call case? If you can talk about that.
Kadambini Sharma from NDTV. Sir, your statement about the Indians who had gone to Russia and stuck there fighting on the Russia-Ukraine war front, you had said that several have been discharged. So do you have a number of how many Indians are stuck there and how many have been discharged and MEA helped them coming back?
Okay. Let's go let's take more questions in the next round. So first is about Kadambini, your question regarding people stuck in Russia. We have an understanding something like 20 odd people are stuck. We are trying our level best for their early discharge. We have issued 2 statements which you saw. We've also told people not to venture in the war zone or get caught into situations which are difficult. So that is where it is. We are trying our best, and we are in regular touch with Russian authorities, both here in New Delhi and also in Moscow. And we are trying to do our best. We are deeply committed for the welfare of all our Indians. Siddhant, regarding your question on Natasha call. This particular UK national came to India on 22nd February. As you know, entry of foreign nationals into our country is a sovereign decision. I'll leave it at that. Ayushi, regarding your question about Russia-Ukraine conflict, our position is very well known. We have said this at various levels, at the highest levels, that India desires that there be discussion, there be diplomacy, there be constant engagement, so that both sides can come together and find a solution for peace. So our position is maintained. That is our position. We have articulated it at the highest levels. Yashi, regarding Maldives, you would have seen some reports. We have had the first batch of technical personnel reaching Maldives, Malé, to replace the existing personnel. That is where it is. As far as the core group meeting is concerned, we will come to know as and when we conduct those meetings next.
So Avinash from the Asahi Shimbun. So the foreign minister is visiting Japan and Korea next week. So sir, if you could tell us something about the significance of his visit to Japan.
Madhurendra.
सर मैं मधुरेंद्र न्यूज़ नेशन से। सर यूएन मानवाधिकार परिषद के मंच पर पाकिस्तान ने एक बार फिर से कश्मीर का राग अलापा, और इस बार भी भारत की नसीहत के ठीक विपरीत टर्की ने उसका साथ दिया। तुर्की ने भी इस मसले को उठाया। जिस तरह से पाकिस्तान और तुर्की के बीच का एक कॉकटेल दिखाई दे रहा है, रिलेशन दिखाई दे रहा है कश्मीर के मुद्दे पर, कई मंचों पर देखा गया है, उस पर आपका रिएक्शन क्या है?
Rishabh here.
So I have 2 questions. Rishabh from Times Now. So one, in continuation to what someone asked, that there was a peace talk in Albania last week. Was India part to it, and or was India invited for that talk? A, and B, the new government has taken oath in Pakistan today. Has there been any communication from Islamabad or from Delhi to Islamabad?
Okay. This side, yeah.
My name is Ashish from Kyodo News. The question is regarding Dr. Jaishankar's visit to Tokyo. Could you share what would be the main topics of meeting between Dr. Jaishankar and his Japanese counterpart? And Raisina Roundtable will be held in Tokyo for the first time. Could you also share the reason behind holding it in Japan?
Yeah.
Hi, Pia with the print. So 2 questions. One, is there any update on the 8th naval veteran who remains in Qatar? Some sections of the media are saying there are still charges against him. There's an ongoing case against him. Could you please clarify on that? And secondly, I just wanted to reiterate a question I had asked after the budget on an expenditure amount totaling rupees 9,000 crores for miscellaneous expenditure. Could you clarify what the government spent that on, whether it was G20 or any other event? Thank you.
Uma.
So the EM is also going to South Korea. So if you can just specify what would be the focus of discussions, and also there have been several cases of racism in South Korea against the Indian students and people staying there. If that will be on the agenda.
So, Huma, your question first. External Affairs Minister is to visit Japan and South Korea from 5th to 8th of March. We have issued a press release in that regard. In South Korea, he will be attending the 10th Joint Commission meeting, where, of course, we have a very expansive, broad-based, multifaceted relationship with South Korea. All aspects of the relationship would be discussed, and as to how we can further progress them. Here, regarding your question about the Indian national in Qatar, as you know, all 8 Indian nationals who were involved in the Al Dhara global case, they have been released. 7 of them have returned to India. The 8th Indian national has certain requirements to fulfill. He will return as and when those are completed. So that is where we are on the 8th national. Your question, which you had asked some time ago, see, there was a provision in the budget of 9,000 crores. This was for a particular purpose. You know that MEA has a large development partnership portfolio with countries abroad. As part of this engagement, lines of credit are offered to countries. The provisioning of this miscellaneous general services is to support smooth implementation of the LOCs. The allocation is meant for funds to be provided to Exim Bank to meet regulatory requirements of RBI. So that is what it is. This particular provisioning, this does not in any way reduce the liability of the borrowing countries. So it is specifically targeted at meeting the requirements of RBI. RBI has set in place certain norms for Exim banks when we offer lines of control to countries abroad.
This is a new allocation. It's not.
Allocation to
This is a new allocation. Previous years, we've not seen such a huge allocation.
Because this particular requirement was not there earlier. So this requirement is to facilitate smooth implementation of the lines of credit that we offer to countries abroad. Ashish, regarding your question on, again, I would refer you to the press release that we issued. External Affairs Minister would be visiting Japan. Japan, as you know, is we have very strong ties with Japan. The foreign minister level strategic dialogue will be conducted during the visit. We have some details in the visit. If you were to follow, you will be following the visit. You will get to see more details as to what else would form part of the program. But the press release that we had issued itself has a lot of details in it. So I would refer you to that. Rishabh, your question regarding Pakistan. On this, I don't have an update for you, but hopefully I'll be able to provide something more later. On Albania as well, I don't have an update. We will check and get back to you on that particular issue as well. मधुरेंद्र, आपके सवाल जो पाकिस्तान को लेकर रहा यूनाइटेड नेशंस ह्यूमन राइट्स काउंसिल में, उस पर आपने देखा होगा कि हम लोगों ने एक अपना स्टेटमेंट जारी किया है उस मुद्दे को लेके। उसमें हम लोगों ने साफ साफ कहा है कि हर बार की तरह इस बार भी बेवजह इस मुद्दे को लाके काउंसिल का समय ज़ाया किया जा रहा है। Again, your question regarding Japan, I would again refer you to the press release, the detailed press release that we had issued. Please follow the visit. We will give you a readout of what's happening when it comes to Japan, a very special country, a very special partner for India. We have a broad-based and expansive relationship that goes into several domains. Each of those aspects will be discussed when Foreign Minister, External Affairs Minister, when he's visiting Japan from 5th to 8th. First, he'll be going to South Korea, and thereafter he'll be going to Japan. Kalol and then our friend here.
This is Kaulul Bhattacharjee from the Hindu. My question is regarding the situation in Gaza. There are reports of large-scale starvation and other humanitarian problems that are existing there. So, but India was supposed to have sent some food assistance to Gaza. So, did that food assistance reach the citizens in Gaza? Number one, and also on the other hand, did India export military drones to Israel at the same time?
Please.
Irina from TASS News Agency. President of France, Macron, recently announced that they discuss a possibility of sending some Western troops to Ukraine. So any comment on that? Does it sound, how does it sound for India?
Mm-hmm. Again.
Hello. Yeah. Ashish from Kyoto News. Sir, you didn't share about the Raisina roundtable. Why India chose Japan?
Raisina, the question of Raisina roundtable is also because, Raisina has become today an important global platform. We just had the Raisina dialogue where people from all over the world, leaders, political leaders, think tank, strategic thinkers, they all came to Delhi. We had the Greek Prime Minister who was the chief guest. So there is global resonance of this platform today. You would have seen that Raisina dialogue at various levels is also being held, or various components of it is being held in other parts of the world. Japan, of course, is a very important partner for us. And this particular engagement will help our conversation, will help our engagement with Japan as much. Elena, regarding your question that you asked regarding President Macron, I don't have any comments to offer on that. This is something which belongs to, which he has made, and it is entirely up to France to decide what they want to do. We have no comments to offer in this regard. Alol, regarding humanitarian assistance, this is an important part of our engagement with the Palestinian people. Over the years, we have provided humanitarian assistance through UNRWA and also bilaterally. So that is where it is. We will continue to provide assistance. We have done this recently as well. Where exactly, on your specific question, whether it has reached X or Y place, I don't have an answer. I will seek an update and get back to you, if that is okay. The other question, I don't have an answer regarding the other question that you asked. I will seek more details on that. There is a hand I see behind.
Sir, this is Milan from India Today. Bill Gates is in India currently, and he's hailed PM's G20 leadership also. Are there any engagements planned via the Ministry of External Affairs? If you could give us some details, sir. Thank you.
Hello, sir. I'm Siddhant from CNN News 18. So a few days back, there was a statement. Some of the reports quoting the Defense Ministry of Maldives confirmed that there is one team, civilian team, that was the word used in the report, has gone from India to take over the charge from the existing teams, those who were there in Maldives. So could you please give some more details about this team and how many members are going to be the part of the team? And can you confirm this, first of all? Thank you.
Okay, Milan, to your question, the Ministry of External Affairs is not involved in the visit of Bill Gates, so I don't have any details for you. Obviously, whenever he comes, he has a very strong engagement in this country, spanning several areas. So he has a broad program. We have a very intensive program to follow, but we are not involved in that, so I can't give you an update on that. Siddhant, regarding your question about Maldives, see, what I said earlier also to responding to Ashi is that the first team of technical personnel to operate the advanced light helicopter at GAN has reached Maldives. it will replace the existing personnel that were until now operating this platform. So that is where we are. You had another question? Siddhant?
Sir, how many members in the team?
Okay, there's a team, we don't, as I told you, the first team has reached, and we'll have more details for you later. As of now, the first team has reached there. Kalal and Siddhant.
Well, the DSP of Ambala has said that he has recommended, or perhaps has started the process of cancelling the passports of the protesters, the farmer protesters. So the question is, are there such laws that basically mandate you to cancel passports if people protest on the streets?
So mine is a follow-up question, sir. So basically, sir, when the core group met, there was a statement which came from the Maldivian side saying that the 10th March is the first deadline, then the 10th May is the second deadline. So is this development is regarding the compliance of that particular statement of the commitment that took place between the two sides during the core group meeting?
Okay, so Siddhant, your questions first. The team has reached there. Obviously, these issues are decided in mutual consultation, and that is where I will leave your question. Kalol, regarding the Ambala incident, you see, all passport or visa matters are governed by certain rules, laws, and guidelines that we have. And if there is any issue which arises on account of that, will be considered as per those laws, rules, and regulations. That is where it is. So if we don't have any more questions, then we'll close this session.
What is the total number of Indians, who went to Russia to work? There are figures which say there were 100. You said 20 are trying to come back. Is that what you said?
What I told you was that 20, it is our understanding that there are 20 or people or thereabout who've gone there to work as support staff or as helpers with Russian army. These are the people who've contacted us. And that is our understanding that this is the number that we have there. Uma?
So I just wanted to understand, so the people who are going to Israel, they're also going in a war zone, which is in Gaza. What if they're also pushed into, fighting or getting involved? Has the government of...
But Huma, nobody has gone to Israel as of now. As per the intergovernmental law, there are people who may have gone on their own accord. Even when we had the evacuation from Israel, 18,000 plus of our caregivers who are there, they stayed back. They're still there. There are a lot of people who go for business, the people who go for other activities, they go on their own accord. But in this particular case, these are 20 odd people who've contacted the embassy, and we are trying our best to get them out. We are trying to get them discharged and support them, help them.
Are they all in Moscow?
They are at various places, but the embassy is in touch with Russian authorities to get them out. Thank you very much.
That was a live interaction of MEA spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal with the presence of the media. He touched upon several important issues, including External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar's upcoming visit to Japan and South Korea. The focus is going to be Foreign Minister strategic level dialogue. He also touched upon other themes, India's humanitarian aid and support to Palestine, India replacing its armed personnel in Mali, Maldives, and more. Moving on, the Union Cabinet chaired by India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has approved the establishment of 3 semiconductor units under development of semiconductors and display manufacturing ecosystems in India. All 3 units will start construction within next 100 days.
देश में सेमीकंडक्टर फैब का अप्रूवल देश के लिए बहुत बड़ा निर्णायक मोड़ है ये, और आत्मनिर्भर भारत बनाने की जो संकल्प लिया है प्रधानमंत्री जी ने, उस संकल्प की बहुत बड़ी ये सिद्धि है। पहली कॉमर्शियल फैब भारत की बनेगी टाटा और पावर चिप ताइवान, इनके कोलैबोरेशन से धोलेरा स्पेशल इंडस्ट्रियल रीजन के अंदर बनेगी पहली सेमीकंडक्टर फैब।
Acknowledging India's leading role in conserving tigers and other big cats in many of its endangered species, Union Cabinet has also approved International Big Cat Alliance on Thursday. IBCA will have its headquarters in India with one-time budgetary support of approximately $18 million, that's about 150 crore rupees, for a period of 5 years from 2023-24 to 27-28.
भारत सरकार के टाइगर कंजर्वेशन के प्रयासों की सफलता के फलस्वरूप जहां टाइगरों की संख्या में बढ़ोतरी हुई और भारत में टाइगरों की संख्या दुगनी से ज़्यादा हो गई है, ये 4 वर्ष पूर्व ही हमने इसको पूरा कर लिया, और टाइगर संरक्षण के क्षेत्र में भारत के अनुभव और लीडरशिप का उपयोग विश्व भर में 7 बिग कैट्स टाइगर, लायन, लेपर्ड, स्नो लेपर्ड, पुमा, जैगुआर और चीता के संरक्षण को बढ़ावा देने के लिए किया जाता है। ये आईबीसीए का जो निर्णय लिया गया है बिग कैट अलायंस का, इसका मुख्यालय भी भारत में ही होगा, जैसे इंटरनेशनल सोलर अलायंस का मुख्यालय यहाँ पर है। इस अलायंस में वैसे देश सदस्य होंगे जहाँ ये 7 बिग कैट्स पाए जाते हैं और या फिर पूर्व में ये प्रजातियाँ पाई जाती थी। इसके अतिरिक्त वन्य जीवन संरक्षण के क्षेत्र में कार्य करने वाली साइंटिफिक संस्थाएं और कॉरपोरेशन को भी इस अलायंस के सदस्य के रूप में रखा जाएगा।
In a befitting reply to Pakistan, India stated that Pakistan has institutionalized systemic persecution of its own minorities. India said Pakistan has a truly abysmal human rights record, and commenting on India, which is demonstrably making great strides in achieving economic progress and social justice, is not merely ironical but perverse. Exercising the right of reply at the high-level segment of 55th regular session of UN Human Rights Council on Wednesday, First Secretary Anupama Singh slammed Pakistan over terrorism. She said Pakistan has no right to comment on India as its own hands are soaked in the red of the bloodshed from terrorism.
With regard to the extensive references to India made by Pakistan, we note that it is deeply unfortunate for the Council's platform to have once again been misused to make patently false allegations against India. We will make only 3 points. 1. The entire Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh are an integral and inalienable part of India. Pakistan has no locus standi to pronounce on matters that are internal to India. 2. A country that has institutionalized the systemic persecution of its own minorities and has a truly abysmal human rights record, commenting on India, which is demonstrably making great strides in achieving economic progress and social justice, is not merely ironical but perverse. 3. A country that hosts and even celebrates UNSC-sanctioned terrorists, commenting on India, whose pluralistic ethos and democratic credentials are exemplars for the world, is a contrast for everyone to see. We cannot pay any further attention to a country that speaks while being soaked in red. The red of the bloodshed from the terrorism it sponsors around the world, the red of its debt-riddled national balance sheets, and the red of the shame its own people feel for their government having failed to serve their actual interests.
Experts have hailed India for blocking key proposal led by China at the World Trade Organization and have hoped that WTO membership will recognize opposition of India and South Africa and make sure that trade agreement in future is in accordance with the WTO rules.
India needs to be complimented for having taken a very strong stand on the issue of investment facilitation and blocking the integration of this agreement into the WTO family of agreements. And for very good reasons, India has taken this strong principled stand, which actually upholds the WTO rules. We do hope that the WTO membership will recognize the reservations, the opposition of India and South Africa, and make sure that the trade agreement in future is in accordance with WTO rules.
And that's all for this edition of DD India Live. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X and Instagram. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live. Namaskar.